Hey friend, Roger Christofferson here again with another first listen review and Overlooked Gems combination. I don't even know where to start with this one. I'm so conflicted by everything. It's the new album by Leatherwolf that I want to go over called Kill the Hunted, but I also wanted to go over the self-titled Leatherwolf album from 1987. Not to be confused with the Leatherwolf self-titled album from 1984. These guys, their history could be like the novel of War and Peace or something. I don't know. There's so much has gone on with these guys. The album, the self-titled one from 1987, was the one I was introduced to these guys. But there's a history before this where they had a bunch of demos. Of course, they had an album after this called Street Ready, which was they tried to be a little more mainstream with that one. This one, the self-titled one, is right where I got into them, and that one I listened to, I can't even tell you how many times. Then they lost their singer. They recorded an album called World Asylum. They got their old singer back, re-recorded the vocals, called it New World Asylum. Then they went through a bunch of different lineup changes again. They actually had Jeff Martin singing for him for a while. If you don't know who that is, he sang for Racer X, and he was a drummer for Badlands. And then they had a bunch of other different people. The only original member in the band at this point is the drummer, Dean Roberts, and the rest of the band is completely different at this point in time. But that's a whole other story there. So I'll start with the Leatherwolf self-titled album. This album, I can't even tell you how many times I've listened to this album. It was constantly in my tape player in my car, and I can't even. There's not a bad song on this album. It's just killer. The lineup at this point was Michael Olivieri, I hope that's how you pronounce it, vocals, guitar, keyboards, Jeff Gayer, also on guitars, Kerry Howe, guitars, and Paul Carmen on bass. This is the band I love right here. This is the lineup that I don't know, it was perfect. This first side of this album, it's actually a pretty short album. It's only like 38 minutes long. 9 songs, 1 cover on there. But the side 1 is absolute killer. There's not a bad song on this album. The first side of this one, tracks 1 through 4, are like just killer songs. There's nothing bad. Rise or Fall, the opening track, it's actually a pretty long song for album opener, 6.5 minutes, and when it's over, you're like, I want to hear it again instantly. It's that good. And it goes right into a song called The Calling. I think they had a video for that one. I actually don't really remember for sure. Great song. Share a Dream was kind of like, track number 3 was kind of like a ballady, but not really. It was still pretty heavy, and it just, Michael's vocals just had this, he's very unique in how he sounds. He's got quite a range, a little bit of gravel, but not really. It's kind of hard to explain, but he's got a lot of emotion and feeling in his vocals. Kind of similar to like Evergrey, that type of passion, but a little bit different vocal style, a little bit more range as well. And then it ends with the song Cry Out. And the triple axe attack is what they were kind of known for. They had the 3 guitars going, did a lot of harmony soloing and everything. Awesome way to start an album. It was great. That being said, I love that side of the album. Side B is really good as well. Opens with Gypsies and Thieves, another killer song. Just big vocals, a lot of big harmonies in this as well. There's some keyboards going on that Michael plays, and the background vocals, there's a lot of, they did use gang vocals, which I'm not a huge fan of, but they also did a lot of harmony vocals as well, so it's kind of balanced out pretty good. And their cover of Bad Moon Rising they made it their own. It doesn't sound anything like the Creedence version. They made it their own for sure. And then we go into Princess of Love, which is a good song. It's fairly short. Magical Eyes is also another pretty short one. both really good. And then Rule the Night, it's another rocker, just ends it out with really good songs. Like I said, side one is just absolutely amazing. Now, this year has been weird because I heard there was a band called Hail Mary that came out, which is Michael Olivieri on vocals, Carrie Howe and Jeff all in the band, and they got some other people, which bass and drums, which I'm not familiar with. But when I heard this album was coming out, this came out over the summer, and I was going to do a review on it, and I was so excited to get it, and I listened to it, and I don't know if anybody out there's ever gotten an album, and while they're listening to it, they're so annoyed at how bad it is, they're actually angry, because they thought, it was going to be an awesome album, and it was really just that bad. The production was so bad, and the songs were just not good, and you were just so let down how awful it was that it kind of made you not want to listen to it like ever again. That was this album. I don't know if there's anybody out there that's heard it that likes it. I didn't find anything good about it. I don't even want to talk about it. It was that bad. So when I heard that there was another Leatherwolf album coming out, I just heard about this one a couple weeks ago, I was really excited. And then I got it, and I got this one off of Bandcamp, actually. And I know I had a bad experience with Bandcamp with the Joe and Turner one because they gave me absolutely no info on that album at all. I still haven't looked back to see everything about that one. But I did check out, this one on Bandcamp. Got it, I'm on Bandcamp, so I like to support, other artists on Bandcamp. So I went there and I did that. And then I realized not a single person in this band is the same except the drummer. So I was like, what the heck? This is all before I listened to it. He's got a new vocalist. His name is Keith Adamiak. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I don't know, but so when I listen to it, his vocals are similar to Michael's, but he's got a lot more grit in his voice than Michael does. The rest of the band, Rob Math on lead guitar, never heard of. Luke Mann on lead guitars. I guess he played with them for a while live. Don't really know him that well. The other two, Barry Sparks was actually a member of Dokken on bass for a while. He played with Michael Schenker. And then Wayne Finley on keyboards. He also played with Michael Schenker for a while there. It's got a couple guys that are sort of known in this one. But, I went into it thinking, oh yeah, here we go. It's just Leatherwolf in name only, not, the drummer. There's no writing credits in here at all for him. So I'm like, oh yeah, what are we going to get? Well, to my surprise and pleasure, this album really kicks butt. It's really good. The production on it is amazing. I guess they had their old producer engineer Randy Burns engineered this one, and they sent it off to get mastered by Tom Baker. So a couple well-known people on this, and it paid off. The songs are good. The performance is good. It's got it does have the triple axe attack like the original Leatherwolf did. The songs are a little bit heavier. The production's actually way better than anything they've done. I mean, production, in the last few years has gotten a lot more louder. This album's loud. It's the level's really high. It's one thing I didn't like about the original self-titled one. I was always hoping they were going to remaster that or something with a little bit better level to it. It's the only bad thing, about the albums back then. The production wasn't as good, but still killer album. The songs on this one are awesome. They Hit the Dirt starts out with a great rocker. The song Nobody, actually the vocals in that one, just the vocals were giving me like a Blackie Lawless type vibe. I'm like, oh dang, that's pretty cool. Kill the Hunted was actually the weakest song. It's this title song. That was kind of the weakest one on here, but the rest are just great. Track number 7, The Henchman, also has Joel Hoekstra guesting on guitar on that one and just kills it. And the rest of the album just rocks out. I mean, the other songs are good too, but I mean, it really picks up at the end. Evil Empire's Fall, just wickedly heavy. Road Rage has got some of the highest vocal. He didn't really show any of his range up until track number 9 here, where he's just killing it. That song, he is just like singing at the top of his range, and it sounds great. And then the last two, Lights Out Again and Enslaved, or Enslaved as he pronounces it in the song. Just killer. It ended and I was like, wow. I mean, the reason I say I'm torn is because it's not Leatherwolf, but it sounds more like Leatherwolf than the Hail Mary album did. The Hail Mary has got more of the writers and the singer from Leatherwolf, and that album didn't sound anything like I was expecting it to. It was just bad. The songs were bad, production was bad, and then this one came out and just killed it. So, man, it's just like, what the heck? Now, Michael Olivieri there has a solo band of his own. It's funny because he's got Tom Croucher playing bass on it, which is Juan Croucher's brother, and a couple other people that are kind of lesser known. I actually can't remember any of their names now, and that's kind of like an Americana, folky, or country-ish type thing going on. Not anything like I'm used to hearing. It's good, but it's not anything like I'm used to hearing him sing, in the early Leatherwolf stuff. So, I mean, the early Leatherwolf, great album. This Leatherwolf, great album. Steer I can't say it right. Steer clear of the Hail Mary. I doubt anybody out there is really going to like it. I mean, I haven't heard anything about this since then, so be forewarned on that one. I don't know. Check it out somewhere. I'm sure. I don't know if it's on, Spotify or somewhere out there. I don't know. You can probably find it and give it a listen if you want to, but, it's up to you. Anybody else has heard this stuff? Man, give me your feedback on this. Tell me what you think of the early Leatherwolf compared to this stuff. And, can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this one. It's quite interesting. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff, and I'll talk to you later. See you.